Don't forget about the human part of business. This is day 24, and going through my franchise brokerage journey. For people that are just joining, I'm helping people to basically start businesses, but I also want to give a little bit more insight into how the journey was for me, like how it is literally to start. When I started my business, I was, I think, turning 25, or it might have been turning 26. It was 11 years ago. So I'm 37 now. So you do the math. I was 25, turning 26, and in a different, quite a different place, a decade ago. It's hard to even believe exactly like where I've been. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today was the human part of business. For whatever reason, I called the brokerage Blue Star franchise, named it after my dog Star, who passed away. As I was going through thinking about doing this, seeing if I was going to do it, what it would look like. And she's been battling cancer all throughout the year. She didn't make it, but for whatever reason, like right now, you're feeling that loss a little bit more, and it's difficult. I think one of the things that I really read when I first, looked into entrepreneurship and business, I looked at the age of people that had started businesses. It was a lot higher. I'm sure that number has changed. I'm sure it's evolved just because starting business can mean many different things. And that's one of the reasons I started the IMCO podcast. But the reason that I bring all this up is because as I'm going through this loss of Star and I'm missing her, and I'm like, hey, I literally just came downstairs and I stepped on something, and my mind immediately went to Star because she would always be up under you, literally wherever that you went. And it's really, really challenging. I mean, there's no other way to kind of frame it and to put it in mind whenever you have some type of loss. So I don't know if I'm going about this the right way. Like I said, I think that I probably should have waited a couple months, for probably about 6 months or so for the baby to come, for me to get the people on the team more settled in. But sometimes people flourish in those moments of having a lot to do, having an elephant to eat. And I definitely think I'm one of those people, but sometimes I have my days where it just feels a little bit overwhelming. And I don't know why, but it's coming up for me a lot more today, and probably over the last few days of just missing Star. I think it's just sometimes when you're doing something new, and she was a German Shepherd lab mix, and Chow actually too. I really connected with that shepherd because that shepherd helps you go and shepherds you to certain things. And um from me having her for 10 years almost to me now, like where I'm at, it's been a transformational journey for me. And as I start to go through this transition and do more things, I miss her, and there's no other way to kind of to put it. I'm in a lot of support groups and things like that for losing pets and losing dogs and losing people, frankly, because my grandma also passed away two weeks ago, 2 weeks after that, and then 2 weeks after Star passed, and then my uncle passed away about a year ago. So have a lot of loss kind of going in our family. But the reason I want to bring up that human part is because so many times we put our human part here, and then we put our business part or our relationships or whatever it is. And I think one of the reasons that a lot of people were more stable, I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe more established, maybe are married and things like that when they start businesses, is because it does take so much out of you. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be that, because obviously I've been able to do it without that to some degree. But I think as you start to have that stability in your life, it makes it a little bit easier. You have those routines, you have those things. Doesn't mean that things aren't crazy, because you probably have more, but you just feel like you have a little bit more stability. So I think that's why sometimes those entrepreneurs were a lot older. So I'm not saying that you have to be older. I was 25, 26. I know 21, 23-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 80-year-olds, people are all different sizes. But I think understanding that human part of business and make sure you're giving space for that, how important that it can be to your success is going to be huge. So with that being said, I'm continuing to kind of work through, missing Star, missing grandma, missing uncle, and the new family that we have, the new member of our family coming on our way. So I just wanted to kind of record this just to say, hey, I'm missing Star, but also don't forget about the human part. So whatever aspects you might be that might come up and kind of bother you and stop your growth, make sure that you address those things and be honest about those things as you're growing.